Hello, everybody. Andy Jacob here with the .com Magazine Entrepreneur Spotlight Series. Okay, here we go, everybody. Settle back in your seats. Put the volume up a little bit because we've brought somebody on the show today. You might even know who he is. His name is Mr.
Nathan Milner.
And of course, he is the CEO and founder of Unspeakable. I mean, if you're on YouTube, you're on a channel, any number of channels, you run into their videos. I mean, listen to this. They have over 30 million, close to 40 million subscribers to their crazy, wild, different, and amazing videos. And every 30 days, I mean, get your head around this. 200 million people or more watch their videos every 30 days. So I wanted to bring, of course, Nathan on the show because, man, he's so impactful. He and James and Gabe have so much fun, and you can't take your eyes off them with the videos they put together. So Nathan, welcome to the .com Magazine Entrepreneur Spotlight Series.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Andy, for having me. Good to see everyone.
It's awesome to have you on the show. Of course, you look a little different than some of the videos, of course, and but your whole goal is to just make entertainment, and you do such a great job. Let's pull the lens back to 30,000 feet for the people that haven't seen the videos on the Unspeakable Media sort of, platform, or on YouTube or wherever else, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, wherever else you go. Let's pull it back. Let's tell them about Unspeakable Media, and then we'll get into it.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. So I pretty much started Unspeakable about 10 years ago, just with myself and a camera. Started off making gaming videos just at my home when I was in high school. And it pretty much turned into this media empire. I worked at it every single day. Obviously never gave up because I'm still here. And I just, my goal was to make every video better than the last. So I'm pretty sure we've made probably around 5,000 videos, maybe a little more, maybe a little less, but around that number. And today we're doing some of the craziest videos that we can possibly get our hands on with the resources that we have. We've grown an incredible team of about 30 employees. We're all based in Houston, Texas. And we simply just try to make the best videos we can. I love doing things from my childhood that I wish I could have done as a kid. So like I built a life-size Lego house, 2 stories. I filled my entire house with packing peanuts. It's something I've always wanted to do as a kid, just fill my entire house with something crazy. I've built Hot Wheels tracks that are around my entire house, and we have an awesome property where we pretty much film all our videos and stunts and everything that we're able to do. So I'm super, super blessed to be where I am and where my team is. But every day, it feels like to me, it's just the beginning. So I feel like we're just getting started. But
I love it, Nathan. It's so powerful. I mean, people watching the show, they always say, hey, Jake or Andy, bring somebody on that's done it. So here you are 10 years ago, you started making gaming videos, and then you got the itch, and, you had a very colorful childhood, of course. And then you're bringing some of the things from your childhood into your videos. Like you mentioned, the 2-story Lego house. I mean, you do crazy things, really fun to entertain. So let's talk about it a little bit. When you were a kid, I mean, were you sort of adventurous? Were you always monkeying with things and building forts? How did all this start when you were a young child?
Yeah. I mean, I would say I was a pretty average kid. I didn't grow up in a crazy wealthy family or anything. We're very middle class, very average, went to school just like everyone else, lived in a very normal neighborhood. I was a very creative kid. I enjoyed just doing dumb stuff with my friends. We played airsoft. We did parkour. We messed around on trampolines. We loved RC cars. We would play outside all the time, play hide and seek, just like literally do, I would say, whatever my parents would let me do, at least. So we just loved exploring and just kids being kids. That's kind of what we did. And I think that really helped me in my YouTube career, because like I said, I was very creative as a kid. I would take something that my dad would buy me for Christmas, like some tech toy or some RC car, and I would take it apart and try to figure out how to make it faster or better looking, or just always trying to change things and make them better of the things that I had around me. So, but
yeah, I love it. Of course, you have 30 employees now. They're all talented. They all bring something to the table. So you've had to transition between, you and James and Gabe being the video guys to also now running an organization. So what's that sort of transition been for you from the creative, let's say, to the C-level, suite executive?
Yeah, I will say it's not as fun as the old days. I do really miss the old days of me and my friends just messing around making videos. That was some of the funnest days we had, is when we really didn't have anything to lose. We were just making videos for fun. That's why I get frustrated when I see some other entrepreneurs that think they have such a hard time when they're very small in business, and they don't realize that that's actually one of their best times. They always say more money, more problems. It is true for the most part. Obviously, I wouldn't necessarily want to go back to where I was. I'm very grateful for where I am, but there's so many problems that we run into on a day-to-day basis that, I didn't have 5 years ago. I mean, we have our own HR team now. Like, it's just when I was growing this business, I didn't even know what HR was. So many issues and so many problems and so many things that I had to learn and teach myself and just fail and try again and fail. I definitely tried to read as many books as I can. I will say that that's probably the most useful thing I've ever done in my life, is read everything you can. If you're going into a change, I didn't know a lot about leadership, right? So I'm trying to read as many books as I can about leadership and organization structure and whatever I can get my hands on. So I think that really, really helped me a lot, kind of like guide me to where I need to go. Yeah,
I love it. Of course. Now, you have a creative side, right? So you're always creating, always thinking, what's the next, 2-story Lego? What, room am I going to fill up with what? And, what's going to happen next on the next video? Do you have to separate now the business end from the creative end? Like, do you have to go separate yourselves, go out in the woods, put some headphones on to become creative now that you're also in the C-level suite? Or is the creativity idea still happening like all through the day and they just pop in?
Yeah, I would say the creativity comes really natural to me. The team helps out a lot on the creativity. I will say, coming up with ideas, I just try to think as differently as I can when it comes to an idea. I think YouTube is all about great ideas. I don't think it has absolutely nothing to do with how much money you spend, how much money you put into a video. None of that really matters. It's all about the original idea of where it's coming from. And I think that goes a long way with not just YouTube, but a lot of pieces of content. Same with movies. We're seeing some of the highest grossing films are some of the ones that are actually the cheapest, but have the best story. So I really think you got to understand what is in it for the audience, not for me, the person creating the content, and what's the value you're bringing to them. Why would they click on your video versus the other 22,000 videos that got uploaded to YouTube that day? So,
wow, it's crazy. Let's get into metrics a little bit. Is there a sweet spot for you and, of course, James and Gabe and the entire team at Unspeakable with regard to how long a video should be, or it doesn't matter? It's all based on the premise.
Yeah, it kind of just depends on the idea and what you're trying to accomplish. Our videos range anywhere from, I would say, 9 to 15 minutes. We feel like that's our sweet spot. We feel like we can make the best video at that time. After that, we usually, things just kind of start to drag out and we just get rid of it. We try to optimize our videos the best we can for the most amount of retention. On YouTube, retention is king. Retention and click-through rate is pretty much everything, because the longer you can keep the people on your video, the more money your video makes and the more money YouTube makes. So the more YouTube is going to push it and want it to get more views. So we focus very, very heavily on trying to keep as many people as we can to watch to the end of the video. Maybe it's a big prize at the end. Maybe it's something crazy. Maybe it's a, turn of events, cliffhanger, who knows? But a lot to unpack there for sure.
That's a lot, Nathan. When we think about it, there's a lot of people that have videos on YouTube, but then there's like the super YouTubers. You're one of these worldwide leading sort of experts. Does YouTube give you a different platform than sort of the regular guy and gal, or is it still the same platform and you just have sort of data that's able to sort of talk back and forth to YouTube?
Yeah, it's exactly the same as what everyone else has. We do have like a partner manager that works with us in terms of like if we need any help with something, or we just need help with a video, or we need to escalate something that happens. But other than that, no, it's the same platform that everyone else uses. We don't have any special features to get more views or anything like that. No.
Beautiful. How many videos a week are you trying to produce? What's the output right now? Or is it per month right now?
Yeah, so we're doing about 4 videos a month, so 1 a week, or 52 videos a year.
Got it. And I want you to take yourself back. We have some people that want to be, they call them, the influencer. Everybody uses that word. But there's really people that really influence. And one thing that you really do is entertain. And that's really the difference between what you do and so many people is people want to become an influencer, but people don't want to watch them. There's nothing entertaining about what they're doing, and they just fall by the wayside. They fall off the cliff. So Let's talk about it a little bit. When you're entertaining, when you're putting that entertainment cap on and you're thinking about sort of what's going to happen, take yourself back to the first videos where you started seeing those, likes, and started seeing the pings and started seeing how many people were watching, because now I'm sure, maybe it's gotten a little old hat. I hope it hasn't, but take yourself back to the beginning when you started sort of seeing the progress and seeing people starting to resonate with what you were putting out there.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's it was a very interesting process for me because it was just such a large learning curve, right? Like when I started YouTube, I didn't know anything about YouTube. I didn't know how to edit a video. I barely even knew how to record stuff. I didn't know anything about camera angles, like literally nothing, absolutely nothing. I also didn't go to college, so I didn't learn any of the stuff there. I don't have, film experience or business experience or anything. I learned everything myself pretty much from YouTube or from other people or from reading books or mentors or whatever I could get my hands on. But I kind of adopt the mentality of just making every video better than the last. And as long as we can do that, I think we'll be in a decent spot. I also really learned a lot about understanding why someone is going to watch me versus someone else, right? You kind of have to identify the category of content that you're in. And you need to look at all the other people in your space and kind of understand like what they're doing. Don't copy them because that's not going to get you anywhere. But how can you do things differently, right? Think about Amazon versus Walmart, right? So you have Walmart and you have Amazon. They both sell the exact same product. Walmart sells cheaper prices and Amazon sells time. They sell convenience, right? So that's kind of the way I look at YouTube is there's a bunch of different people on the platform, but there's so many different levels of value that you can add in different ways. I think the way we were able to find the most amount of value to add was just to try and create the most unique video possible, right? No one's ever seen a real life-size Lego house. No one's ever seen someone fill their house with packing peanuts. I'll give you a little teaser. One video working on for next summer is we're trying to turn the inside of my house into a water park. When have you ever seen someone do that to a home? So we're trying to do just some of the most ridiculous stuff that no one has seen. And that's kind of the niche that we have solved to give our audience that value that we're looking to find, or they're looking to.
I love it, Nathan. Do you have meetings with maybe some creatives on the team and you kind of kick it around and like, Saturday Night Live-ish where you go into a meeting and everybody throws their ideas against the wall and you whiteboard it and pick it up? Or is it really based on what your vision is, of course, with James and of course, Gabe?
Yeah, it's pretty much an effort from the entire team. There's so many ideas thrown around. We go through so many ideas every week. I lose track of them. But I'm really just looking for the most unique idea. I'm looking for something that's going to catch my attention. And I've been doing this for so long that I think I've got a pretty good grasp of that based on the thousands and thousands of videos that we posted. But it is a very big group effort. Everyone kind of puts their hands in when it comes to the ideas and creative, because if we are not creative and we are not innovating with our content, we're a dead channel, so it's as simple as that. So if we're not creative and we're not growing, then we're dead pretty much. So
I love it. It's such a great look from an entrepreneurial mindset. Now, you mentioned the HR department. So I would be remiss not to ask a question about pranks, because you guys are big pranksters. You teach people how to do pranks, and some of your biggest videos are pranks. And not only are you pranking each other, but you teach people how to prank their friends. But now that you've got the HR department and you've got 30 employees, is the pranking allowed in the business part of the business, or is that causing a challenge right now?
We honestly, we like to have fun with everyone. We don't really prank each other if we're not filming. But we do like to have fun, obviously, at work. But no, we haven't had anyone prank each other unless it's for a video. So.
Oh, wow. It's so great. Of course, you've got the YouTube channels. Before I let you go, and I'm going to bring you back on the show if you can cut some time out in between your videos, because I really want to talk to you about corporate culture and what it's like to build something as a creative, because it's real fascinating that you built the business, you had to support the business from sort of behind it and keep pushing it up, and then how you've been able to keep the creative concepts and creativity in your mind as well as running as a CEO. It's real important. But before I let you go, we have people that are always trying to do something like this. And, they hear the great stories and they try. You watch what they're doing. Oftentimes they're just not entertaining at all. Is there some kind of tricks or some type of mindset or some type of thought that you can give for people that would try and emulate what you're doing at Unspeakable and what you're doing with the entire platform?
It's hard, to be honest with you. I think you have to be obsessed with the process of getting better and growing. I am not obsessed with making, I'm not necessarily obsessed with filming things, but I'm obsessed with the creative process of making videos. And I found that kind of to be my strength, right? So you have to have a true, to be great at anything, you have to have a true obsession. Look at the basketball players, look at LeBron, look at anyone that has done anything great in life. You have to be obsessed. You have to go above and beyond. When I was in school, first starting my YouTube channel, I got up at 6 a.m. I ran cross country. I was in school till 2:00, and then I was filming and editing videos till midnight, sometimes 1 a.m., waking up and doing it again. That is an extreme example. I don't recommend anyone to do that. You should definitely get enough sleep, but I was obsessed. I would literally die over creating content. So I think that's the strongest thing is you got to be willing to sacrifice a lot. You got to be willing to be very, very obsessed with what you do. And I think if you don't have the extreme obsession and you don't have the extreme passion, then I don't think anyone can make it very far. So.
I love it. It's all about that passion. Before I let you go, I have one final question. What you really do is you allow people like me and your viewers really to sort of live out our dreams, our fantasies. Who hasn't wanted to fill up a living room with peanuts and see what happens? Or, who, hasn't want to do an indoor snowstorm with, snow and everything like that. So here's the final question. After you and your group kind of have fun and do the video, who cleans the whole thing up?
Well, our team usually, we have an awesome team that will help clean everything up. But if the project is really big and really messy or whatever it is, then we'll hire some extra help to come help us up. So
I love it, Nathan. Thanks so much for coming on the show. Unspeakable. It's just fantastic. We know who cleans up the messes now. We hope to bring you back on the show. We know you've only cut out a certain amount of time, and this has just been great. And thank you so much for coming on the .com Magazine Entrepreneur Spotlight Series today.
For sure. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.